Okay, let's take a look at the Chapter 7 review. First question asks you to find the geometric mean of the following pairs. So remember the formula for that is x is the geometric mean. We have a is to x as x is to b. Cross multiply, you'll get x squared equals ab. So x is equal to the square root of ab. Remember, x is the geometric mean. Okay, so for the first one, that means that 11 is to x as x is to 17. So x squared is equal to 187. Therefore, x is equal to the square root of 187. When you're thinking about trying to simplify those radical terms, look at the factors that you multiplied together to get that. See if you can simplify either of those into a perfect square and a non-perfect square. If you can't, chances are you can't simplify that, and that is the case for A. B, 5 is to x as x is to 15. Therefore, x squared equals 75. 75 is equal to 25 times 3, so it would be 5 root 3. C, 9 is to x as x is to 81. So x squared equals 729. The other trick, remember, is to take the perfect square, or to take the square root of 729 to see if that's a perfect square. And in this case it is, and x is equal to 27. The next one, 2, changes it up just a bit and says that you are given the geometric mean and you need to find the length of the side. So in this case, we're going to use the same setup. X is the geometric mean, but we know that 4 is the geometric mean. Between 2 and some number, we can call that b. So 4 is the geometric mean. Put that in those spots that would normally have an x. Put a 2 here, a b here. Cross multiply, you get 2b is equal to 16. Divide by 2, so b is equal to 8. Again, this time 11 is the geometric mean. Between 121 and some number, call that whatever you want, a or b. So a is to 11 as 11 is to 121. So 121 is equal to 121a, so a is equal to 1 in this case. C, 8 is the geometric mean between 4 and what number? So 4 is to 8, the geometric mean, as 8 is to b. So 4b equals 64, so b is equal to 16. Okay, next problem says Penelope is 5 feet tall. So here she is, 5 feet tall. And at 3 in the afternoon, her shadow is 7 feet long. At the same time, an office building casts a shadow. So here's our office building. Casts a shadow that is 20 feet long. We want to know how tall is the building. So remember, Penelope's height is to the height of the building, as her shadow is to the building's shadow. So 7x is equal to 100. X is equal to 100 divided by 7, which is about 14.3 feet. Remember, you have to take 12 times 0.3, so it's about 14 feet, 3.6 inches. Oh, forgot to renumber these. I think I put an extra problem in here. Determine if the triangles are similar. If so, give the similarity postulate or theorem and the similarity statement. And this one's tricky to look at because it's actually turned around so that this side, QR, corresponds to this side, QP. So if we look at this, we're going to say that QT is to QP as QS is to QR, and then TS is to PR. So if you look at that, QT is 3, QP is 6, and then QS is 4, QR is 8. And they both reduce to 1/2. So because we have side, angle, side, similarity theorem, because we have two pair of similar or proportional sides and the included angle. So the similarity statement would then be that we have TQS is similar to PQR. So those triangles are in fact similar, and they are similar by side, angle, side. Next, let's take a look at finding the geometric mean of a triangle. Remember, there are 3 possible geometric means. They're going to be x, y, and z. Remember, x is the geometric mean between 6 and 42. So this would be 6 is to x as x is to 42. So x squared is equal to 252. That's not a perfect square, but I think it's divisible by 4. And then by 9 again, so take 252 divided by 7, you're going to get that x squared is equal to the square root of 36 times the square root of 7. So x is equal to 6 root 7. Then let's take a look at y. Remember, y is the geometric mean between, between 6 and 48. So in this case, 6 is to y as y is to 48. So y squared is equal to 288. That I can tell is divisible by 144. So I will have y is equal to the square root of 144 times the square root of 2, which becomes 12 root 2. And the next one, z. Z is the geometric mean between 42 and 48. So I have 42 is to z as z is to 48. So z squared is equal to 2,116. I don't think that's perfect square, but I'm going to check. It is not. So 2,016 is divisible by 4, by 4, by 4. So 126. So I take 2,016 divided by 126, and I'm going to get that z squared is equal to the square root of 16 times the square root of 126. So z is equal to the square root of 126. And I think that's as far as you can go with that. Let me check. 126 divided by 9. Oh, sorry. I can factor that out in 9. So that's going to be 4 times 3 times the square root of 14. Sorry about that. That becomes 12 root 14. I could break that down into 9 and 14. Okay, the next one, same thing. X10 is to x as x is to 50. So x squared is equal to 500. The factors of 500, one being a perfect square, would be 5 and 100. So x is equal to 10 root 5. Next, 10 is to y as y is to 60. So y squared is equal to 600. So y, again, that factors to 6 and 100. 100 is a perfect square, so that's 10 root 6. And the last one is going to be z. 50 is to z as z is to 60. So z squared equals 3,000. And that is actually also divisible by 100. So that z is going to be 10 square root of 30. Okay? So you should know how to find those geometric means when you're given a triangle. Okay, next is solving a proportion. Remember, we're going to cross multiply. Remember to add the parentheses so that you don't forget to distribute that number inside. So I have 5 times 2x plus 8 is equal to 3 times x minus 4. You're going to get 10x plus 40 is equal to 3x minus 12. Subtract the 3x from both sides, and you'll have 7x plus 40 is equal to negative 12. Subtract the 40 from both sides, and you get 7x is equal to negative 52. So x is equal to negative 52 over 7. Okay, that one looks a little odd. I'm not sure I had that strange an answer, but I'll come back to it if I have time. Okay, the next one, number 6. I told you you'd get some like this where you have binomials in more than one place, so you're going to get a quadratic here. Again, you're going to cross multiply, so you'll have x minus 4 times x plus 2 is equal to 2x times x minus 4. FOIL, you get x squared plus 2x minus 4x minus 8 equals 2x squared minus 8x. Combine like terms, you have x squared minus 2x minus 8 equals 2x squared minus 8x. Now, because I like my leading coefficient to be positive, I'm going to subtract the x squareds from both sides. That's going to give me minus 2x minus 8 equals x squared minus 8x. Add the 2x to both sides. You'll have minus 8 equals x squared minus 4x. And then add the x to both, or the 8 to both sides. And you will have 0 is equal to x squared minus 4x plus 8. Factor this, what multiplies to positive 8 and adds to negative 4. Let's see. This one's factorable. I think this one is not factorable. That would be, I think this one isn't factorable, so we're going to leave this one right here. And then I'll get out my other sheet and look in just a minute. Okay, number 7, it is an extended proportion. You have to set this up as 2 separate equations, one for x and one for y. So the first one is going to be 1/3 is equal to 4x minus 4 over 12. Cross multiply, 12 is equal to 12x minus 12. So 12x equals 24, so x is equal to 2. That's the first one. The second one for y will be 1/3 is equal to 12 over 6y. Cross multiply, you get 6y is equal to 36, so y is equal to 6. Next one, take a look at number 8. Says that OP bisects the angle. If it bisects the angle, then it divides those sides proportionally. So that means that x plus 2 is to 3 as 4x minus 2 is to 7. So 4x minus 2 is to 7 as x plus 2 is to 3. Cross multiply, you get 12x minus 6 is equal to 7x plus 14. Subtract the 7. X from both sides, you get 5x. Add the 6, you get 20. So x is equal to 4. I don't think I can. Number 9. Number 9, I have a proportion. I have that AB, CD, and EF are all parallel. Therefore, AC is to CE as BD is to DF. So x is to x plus 4 as 3 is to 5. Cross multiply, you get 5x equals 3x plus 12. Subtract the 3x, you'll get 2x is equal to 12, so x is equal to 6. Okay, moving on to number 10. Okay, this is the tricky one. You have to be careful with this one tomorrow. Lots of students kind of miss this. Remember, we're looking at comparing similar triangles. So I have this triangle ABC, and I'm comparing it to this triangle ADE. So when I'm comparing corresponding sides, I'm going to compare 9 to 9 plus x, and then the base, x plus 3 to x plus 5. Cross multiply, you have 9 times x plus 5 is equal to x plus 3 times x plus 9. You have 9x plus 45 is equal to x squared plus 9x plus 3x plus 27. Let's move over here then. So I have 9x plus 45 is equal to x squared plus 12x plus 27. Again, in order to keep my leading coefficient positive, I'm going to subtract the 9x from both sides. I'm going to subtract the 45 from both sides. That puts a 0 on the left, and I have x squared plus 3x minus 18. Factor that. Remember, you're looking for two numbers that multiply to negative 18, but add to positive 3. That's going to be x plus 6 and x minus 3. Remember, the zero product property says that if the product of x plus 6 and x minus 3 is 0, then either x plus 6 is equal to 0 or x minus 3 is equal to 0. So x is equal to negative 6 or x is equal to 3. Remember, we can't have a negative number, so that eliminates x minus 6 when we substitute it back in. So x equals 3 is the answer to that question. Number 11 says, Myra's Meatloaf uses 4 pounds of hamburger to feed 12 people. So 4 pounds feeds 12 people. How many pounds of hamburger will be used to feed 48 people? So our question is, if we have 4 to 12, then x to 48. So 12x is equal to 192. Divide both sides by 12, and you get 16 pounds of hamburger. Number 12, if 3 hens lay 10 eggs in 5 days, how many eggs will 3 hens lay in 20 days? So try not to get confused. You're working with the same number of hens. You just have eggs, 10 eggs in 5 days. So how many eggs, X, will they lay in 20 days? So 5X is equal to 200, so X would be equal to 40 eggs. Number 13, if 8 hens lay 14 eggs in 6 days, how many eggs will 24 hens lay in 6 days? Now, days are the same, so you don't have to worry about days. You're going to worry about hens and the number of eggs they lay. So, how many eggs will 24 hens lay? Remember, I have 8 hens in the numerator, eggs in the denominator. So I'm going to put hens in the numerator here, and X for eggs in the denominator. So I get 8X is equal to 336 divided by 8. I'm going to get 42. Number 14 says if it costs $200,000 to build a sidewalk around a rectangular field whose dimensions are 200 yards by 800 yards, how much would it cost to have a sidewalk installed around a rectangular lot that is 125 by 170? So when you look at this, think about the perimeter, because that's where you're building this sidewalk around the perimeter. So when we add that up, we're going to get 800, 2,000 actual, we'll call them linear feet. So for 2,000 linear feet, it costs $200,000. Now look at the perimeter of the second sidewalk. And that is 590. So the cost for that is X. So I have 2,000. X is equal to, this is a big number, and then divide by 2,000. $59,000 to build that sidewalk around that smaller area. Last problem. Number 15, you have to find the value of X. You're given a right triangle. Hopefully you recognize that this X plus 10 is the geometric mean. So you have X minus 2 is to X plus 10, as X plus 10 is to 64. So X minus 2 is to X plus 10, as X plus 10 is to 64. Cross multiply, you'll get 64 times X minus 2 is equal to X plus 10 times X plus 10. So 64X minus 128 is equal to X squared FOIL times X plus 10, which is 10X, plus 10X plus 100. combine like terms. So you have 64x minus 128 equal to x squared plus 20x plus 100. Now subtract the 64x from both sides and add the 128 to both sides. And then we got it here. So I will have x squared minus 44x plus 228 equals 0. Remember, you're looking for two numbers that multiply to give you 228, but add to give you negative 44. And you already know something about the signs. If you use guess and check, you know that they will both be negative. We have, actually, 228 is divisible by 6 and 38. So that becomes 38 and 6 equals 0. So x is equal to 38, or x is equal to 6. And those are the two answers to that geometric mean problem. And I think that's the end of the review sheet. Just going to scroll back up quickly to number 6. If you've watched the whole video and you're fine with all the work, you can go ahead and turn it off. I just want to check this one really quickly because I didn't think I had one on here that didn't factor, but I might have. X squared plus 2x minus 4x minus 8. 2x squared minus 8x. Add that. Add the 2x to both sides. Is that where I went wrong? Add the 2x to both sides. Oh, that's where I went wrong. Okay, very good. You probably saw that. I did not see that when I was going through the first time, but here it is. Simple addition mistake. So then I add the 8 to both sides. So on this side I have 0. Over here I have x squared minus 6x plus 8. And that does factor x minus 4 times x minus 2. So x is equal to 4, or x is equal to 2. And those are the answers for that. Sorry about that. It was a silly mistake. I couldn't see it right away. Okay, don't forget to study. I hope this was helpful. I will see you tomorrow.